Hi there, it's Jan Limer again from Calder Community Cares. It's been a long time since we did videos for looking after our neighbours. I've got one of our community friends here with us, Gwen, and she's enjoyed watching the series, and she's did struggle with some isolation and loneliness because her family's a fair way away. Gwen, how's life been since you've last seen the series?
Oh, it's been such a help. It's been actually a lifesaver to me, Jan, because you know how I was struggling with loneliness, and then you as a group just looked after me so well, and it's just so lovely because as you've just said, all my family are down south, Devon and Dorset and London, and I don't know how I would have gone on without you all. You've just been amazing. What an amazing group. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's quite interesting, isn't it? Hearing about other people's stories, it helps you realise that actually we are not alone. We might all be in the same storm, but we're not all in the same boat. And people's mental well-being, some people have floated along really well, but others, like me, have really struggled at times.
Yeah, totally. And do you know what? I think the worst emotion for anybody is feeling that they're not any use to society anymore. They're isolated. And then once you become isolated, and then you feel that you're not part of a group and the human race doesn't exist because nothing is happening at all, that's when mental health, I'm sure, would step in. And once mental health starts to happen, Jan, that's when it goes down and down, and then everything becomes a major issue rather than being able to get through with everyday things.
Yeah, and for me, I found listening to other people's stories on the Looking After Our Neighbours series was just fabulous because it just helps you get grounded when you see that other people are experiencing the same thing and learn about acts of kindness, other communities that come together and the things that they do. I just felt I felt like we were one big community, that we were all in it together, and I just felt that collaboratively and collectively we were able to see a way forward, and that certainly helped me feel a lot more settled that I can keep this. Yeah. What about you,
And
Gwen?
mine was inclusion, Jan, because to say I don't know anybody, I didn't know anybody here, and then suddenly it's like I've got another family, which has been, I want to cry now, but it's just been so fantastic for me, being able to be part of something and not, as I said earlier on, isolated and worth nothing and nobody cared for me and I'm all alone. It's been just amazing.
And again, from the Neighbourly series, have you got any stories that you'd like to tell of acts of kindness that either you've received or that you've been able to help others with from your volunteering?
Well, yes, there's one lady in particular, and this was just before Christmas, and she burst out crying when I phoned her for the delivery, and I asked her what was wrong, and she said she hadn't got. She was cold, very cold, and I said why, and she said, well, I've got no money to put on for my electricity. I don't quite understand. It's a key or something you put electricity on. So I immediately rang my boss, and oh my gosh, wow. About 1 hour later, they had been round to her. They'd got her key, they'd put £20 on it, took it back to her. She phoned me and said, I've got warmth again. And that was within an hour, Jan. And that was done. And there's I could sit here now for a couple of hours and tell you just what your group have done for people. It's just fantastic. Absolutely. It's another little thing was a guy, when I rang him, and he said, Gwen, before you go, he said, I'm really worried. And I said, oh, what's the matter, darling? And he said, I really need some Voltron cream, which is for pain. And I said, oh, how can I help you? And he said, is there anybody that can get, I've got the money, anybody get it for me? I rang my boss again, and straight away, one of the volunteers was round there, went to the chemist, got him his cream, he rang me up in tears, saying, Gwen, I don't know how your group is so kind. It's just lovely, just fabulous. And you know what surprised me, Jan, going back to just a tub of cream for a gentleman, that to him was the world. To somebody else, it was getting it, but it was the world to him. And knowing you do from little things like that, as you were just saying, out on a theatre in the street, and it's all those little things that add up that make life bearable for people. Wonderful.
It's a goodbye from me. It's been a real pleasure being on the Looking Out for Neighbours series. It's been tremendously supportive for us at Calder Community Cares. We've had more people register and more people recognise what we're doing and more people feeling comfortable working alongside us. What do you think, Gwen?
Oh, I reiterate that a million times. It certainly saved my life, figuratively speaking, because I wasn't depressed, but it certainly made me feel as though I wasn't alone and I am still useful to society. And bless you, bless you, bless you. Thank you.
It's a wrap.